Hi, my name is Amy Storer. I am the Innovative Learning Specialist in Montgomery ISD. My social media handle is at TechAmyS. You can find me pretty much everywhere. I'm very active on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. And if you need to email me, I've also included my email here as well. This is going to be a quick bite of learning. I hope you're able to take away some good tips and tricks on how to get started here. But I'm also going to share with you some templates kind of towards the end of our time together. I'm sure you can see those hanging out on this slide right now or the slide below. But we'll come back in just a little bit. So where did the idea of hashtag CopierPD come from, which is the topic of what I'm going to be sharing today? So CopierPD, here's kind of where it started. My friend Kathy, way back in the day, had this idea for something called Learning in the Loo. And that was truly just hanging up quick bites of learning in restrooms for teachers to read. And I loved it. This is taking on different forms. You may have heard it referred to as Potty PD. I've even heard of the toilet paper. So I was visiting with some friends about this a while back, and I was like, I wonder how I could do a similar version to this that wouldn't require me to have to go hang up a sign in a restroom. And that's where the idea CopierPD came from, because where is another place in our buildings that teachers sometimes have to frequent or wait while copies are being made? And it's the copy machine. So that is where this idea came from. I call it hashtag CopierPD with the tagline, we be jammin', because we all know copy machines tend to jam, right? So let me walk you through kind of the idea behind it, where it started, where it is now, and where you can take it. So you can truly create this in any platform that you want. I just happen to be a huge fan of Canva, but I've seen teachers also create them inside Google Slides, Microsoft PowerPoint. I just like the flexibility of Canva and the ability to be able to find some really neat graphics, wonderful fonts for accessibility, all that stuff. So here's an example. Here's one, a landscape example. You can see up here, I have hashtag CopierPD. I have the month right below. There's my tagline, we be jammin', with a really cute copy machine. And I have 3 sections here. Now, when I first started, I kind of went a little overboard, if I'm being honest with myself and honest with you, is I included too much. I would really stick to maybe 3, 4 different things to share. You could do a laugh of the month. It could be meme of the month. And what I did is every time I would find a really good one on social media, I would actually just take it and I would put it in a Google Drive folder so I could get back to it later. So just a organizational tip, if you will, to help you stay organized when finding different memes that you could share. And then I usually had an instructional focus. When I started this, I was an instructional coach, and I had a meme of the month, an instructional focus, and a tech tip. We've also done variations, myself and my twin sister, who's a school counselor, and she has replaced tech tip with SEL tip. So there's all kinds of ways you can do this. You could partner with your counselor, partner with your leadership team, just to find some focuses. And I always made sure that my focus was on things that teachers had access to. Maybe I was starting to see a lot of questions about it. I would always look at curriculum and see kind of what was coming up. What could all teachers take a look at to help support them in their classroom? And these shapes that you see here, they're shapes. Like I just said, they're just shapes, and I changed the outline color, and everything else is just text boxes for titles and all of that. So I've created templates. I did what we call this? This is not landscape. This is portrait. There we go. This is a portrait example. And you'll see here, I'm just keeping them all in the same file. Here's August, here's September, and I'll continue. Here is landscape, and kind of the same thing. I'll keep everything in one file. So you're reusing the same template over and over. You're just changing what is here in these shapes. Now let's talk about where I found this copy machine, and then we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about font choice. So I do believe, let's check together, in the apps for Canva, There might be, let's see, an app for, I was thinking it was going to be here, but maybe not, but that's okay. I'm going to open up a new tab and go to one of my favorite websites, which is called Flat Icon. And this is where you can find some really great icons that you can use in different things that you're designing. You can do a free account. I do suggest that. Just use your Google or Microsoft login, and that will then give you the ability to search through here and find different icons. For example, if I typed in printer, it'll bring me here. I probably should do copy machine. Let's do that instead. All right, here we go. Okay, there we go. And you can find some different copy machines. Once you find one that you like, you just have to click on it. Now, because you're using the free version, I would click to open it. And what I want you to do immediately before you download it or copy it is I want you to click the share button. And I want you to copy this link, and I want to put it somewhere in your design. That way you're giving credit where credit is due. You could also put the name of the artist right here would work well, but include that somewhere. Slide notes. And of course, you know that you will not be able to sell this anywhere. It's just for you and your use. Then you can copy or download. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to go back into where we were creating. Actually, let's just do it right here. And I'm going to paste, and there it is right here. Okay. You could include maybe a link right here below it that just shows where you pulled it from. That way you're giving credit. They will prompt you about that when you use the free account. Okay, so there's that copy machine. You can then reorganize it, scooch it over wherever you might need it. And then what I did from there is I just added in text boxes, a text box for a title, maybe a subtitle, and then I put in my 3 sections over here. The shapes that I talked about earlier, I just type in shape. This is what I'm looking for here. Click on a shape, bring it on over, resize it however you need to resize it. And then this is going to be your fill color, which I'm going to make transparent. And this is your border, okay? So I'm going to choose this border. I can change the thickness of that border right here, and I can choose a color. Nope, not that one. Let's hit the oopsie button. I can choose a color here for my border. There we go, and now I have a shape. And then to make it easy, just do Control or Command duplicate, D on your keyboard, which is duplicate. You can make another one, resize, and then come up here and change it to a different color as needed. So pretty basic setup. You're just building sections, you're putting a title here, leaving some information about where you got the graphic from, etc. And then choosing what you want to add, okay? And that's really is based on your campus, your needs, etc. is what you're gonna put here. And like I said, you could do meme of the month, instructional focus, and a tech tip, or even an SEL tip, whatever you think your campus could benefit from. You also want to sometimes include QR codes because that's easily scannable for teachers. So if I come to apps over here in Canva, and I want to say I probably already have this somewhere on my sidebar. QR code is right here, so I can quickly go find something that I want teachers to have access to, click QR code, and just paste it here, and it will generate a QR code to go directly on top of your design. So just grab the URL from anywhere, click generate, and it will pop up over here. Once you use an application enough times, you'll see it on this main navigation bar. You'll see it here, which means you shouldn't have to go back and search for it again in apps, okay? Now let's talk about text real quick. The text that you choose is important. You want to keep in mind those that will be looking at your designs, and keep accessibility in mind when you're doing this. A good rule to follow is to find a font or fonts where the E is designed the same way that we teach kids to write the letter E. Chances are it's a really great font for readability. If you can stick to that, you're going to be solid. Especially the text that you use over and over, make that be a text that's easily readable. Lexend is my favorite font to use, but you can find some chunky fun ones that still follow that good rule of thumb. One thing I'll share with you that just was released or became available recently is when you hover over a font, you're going to see these 3 dots. And guess what? You can star a font now, which means it will live up here in your starred fonts. We have been waiting for this forever. So star away all of your favorite fonts right here at the top. And remember, you're looking for fonts, especially if the designs you're creating are for consumption. You're looking for fonts that are easily readable. Does the E look like the E we teach our kids how to write? If it does, good to go. Okay. All right, so that's just some pro tips there. When you're ready to share this, you're going to click share. And I just downloaded it as a PDF so I could print it, and I had sheet protectors near my copy machines where I would change these out. And once a month is good. I told you earlier I kind of went overboard and I was doing it like maybe once every couple of weeks. And that's a lot. If we just stick to once a month, and you're going to be good to go. Okay? All right, so that's really it. That's Copier PD in a nutshell with some tips and tricks added within. Now on this slide here, let me go down to slide 2. You will see some templates because I want to give you some things to take away. There's an example, and this QR code right here is going to take you to this slide show that I'm on right now. That way you have access to my information to get in contact with me, as well as these 2 templates. Here's landscape and here's portrait. Remix it however you see fit. And of course, always give credit to the creators of different images that you use, etc. I wouldn't even be mad if you gave me credit as well, but I'm cool either way. But that's Copier PD. If you've got any questions, reach out, have fun. And I would love to see your examples and enjoy the rest of this awesome learning experience. Thanks, friends.